Alrighty then. Tis time. We need to warm up. I put together our draft deck. It's been a couple days. Yesterday I kind of took off from playing at all. So I realized during the first recording that I had that I didn't have a mic, so all that talking was for nothing. That's okay though. I still plan on putting these things together in like to a short video, and then maybe doing like a little overlay or a little narration over the top. So it'll work out just fine. But for now, we just need to warm up. We need to get back in the mindset of what the heck this deck was supposed to do. If I recall, it is an oil, red-blue oil deck with a little bit less of a spell central than the typical one, and a little bit more focus on some crazy splashes that's built into it. We'll hold on to this just as a test to kind of see, because we have a 2-drop, we have a 3-drop, we have a possible experiment. There we go. We're all good. We can't do a free flash, so we'll take the hit. Resolve. This is gonna hurt. Here's 3. Axiom Engraver is perfect when you're going up against like super aggro kinds of decks. Reason being is just got the kind of toughness that can catch things like the Nest Robber, or whatever the hasty 2-mana creature is. And a lot of times that 1 damage is enough to take it out too. And so it sort of freezes the floor a little bit. Unfortunately, not a lot here to affect the board, and they can do a total of 6 damage. So if I attacked in, even with the free from flesh, they can still triple block. I don't hate that as a trade. Maybe that's what I should do. Yeah. Let's see if they just double block. Yeah, I didn't think they would. All right, we do want to get rid of our halberdier here first, and then we want to see if there's enough left over for the Nest Robber. That would just leave the cadet as the final piece. Overall, it's a good trade, right? Bring him down to 1, slow everything down. We could have sat there waiting for it to happen, but I think this is just as good. Chimney Rabble's good. These Mesmerizing Doses, nothing wrong with them, but Chimney Rabble's going to give us 2 bodies to go wide easily enough for us to create a bit of a block. Yeah. Oh, you got a trick too? Oh, you got a trick? What? Yeah, that's not the 2-for-1 I wanted. I mean, I know it's another one. If I block this, he gets another one, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to do it right now. Glisten Seer is really good as a way to slow things down. And we'll do the Augury and see if we can't capture a 2-mana thing. Close. Submit to the Seer, not attack. We would catch the Hurloon Minotaur and block the Robber. It's okay. I'll take the sack, lose it, block the damage, move on. And this is why. I can just do this, and I can take out 2 of their 3 threats. Feeling strong. Not much here. So we'll say no attacks. I got plenty to block the 2/2. And an Ichor Synthesizer sounds fine by me. We can dose the Minotaur. We can burn him. We got choices. I'll probably just take the dose, right? Get the extra counter. We got the mana to do it, right? Might as well. Who's coming next? He does happen to have some hasty creatures in this deck, and so it makes more sense for us to not use the Glisten Seer until he's done his turn. This one does not have haste, so I have no problems activating, taking a look, moving forward. Going to next. Blazing Crescendo. Without the mana available, we're just casting the thing to sit there. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Ichor Synthesizer is going to enjoy using the Blazing Crescendo, but I don't think we're getting it up to 3 counters before it's endgame here. Nothing to do, except here. Stick it. Why not? This is what we opened up. We don't have the mana to play it, so we just click next. Click all attack. Just to be bold. And that's about it. I can toss you out there. Jimmy Robbins probably the greatest card in the game. Okay. One more? Just one more. One more. I think. I always think it's funny that, like, I have this thing tilted so far over here. There we go. It makes it look like I'm just hanging out, like laying out. How about that? Is that better? Yeah, I think so. Now I don't look like I'm lounging quite so much. Glisten Seer with a blue, Axiom Engraver, need a red. I could task worst case scenario to Glisten Seers. So. Sorry about that. Okay. More Glisten Seers, sure. What's coming up next? That's not gonna work. Need that red mana. We're not gonna block that. Just one damage for damage's sake. Okay. Still looking for that red mana. Better than losing an entire turn. Rather lose 2 damage. How sweet it is. Okay, Cackler is actually going to be uncannily good here. We'll do one more just to see what's next. Free from Flesh sounds great. And we'll go there. And we'll click... No. Attack. Only when this attacks does the plus come into play. And we're going to leave the +1s on there because this card just doesn't come with a way to add it back. This card comes with oil counters on it, though. It can really strengthen out an attack. So we'll go to next. Send you off. Get the +3 on it. We're swinging for 5/3. For some reason, the Typhoid Rats didn't come out. I don't have a solution to that. That's okay. Now I understand. Whew. Let's see if there's another trick. Didn't think so. Wish I'd had more red. I can't believe red is still the reason. Game on. No attacks. End turn. So my man here is indestructible. And Death Touch says it would destroy a creature, which means he can't be destroyed as long as he doesn't block. So we'll just say no blocks. Keep going after your 1. Don't mind that. Okay. Thing about mana, you're just looking for one color most of the time, and then the one color shows up and it's you don't need it anymore, and of course here it comes. So weird that we've got like the least amount of the most that we've got, the most amount of the least that we've got. Like we're all backwards. Alright, little guy, don't know what you're holding, but it's gonna have to be something big soon. What'd I say? Okay, I think we're ready. I haven't had a card that affects the board in 4 turns. Normally that would be the death if we weren't playing against something else. That'd be up. Game over. We lose. It's dead. Are they? Sure. Good choice. All right. Don't think we learned a lot, except there's not a lot to this deck. Just get some defense out, get a bomb. That's the nature of the game. So, green or white? I'm not sure either of those colors are in our deal. That's okay. Green is in there, so we're going for it. All right, so we're 3-1. We have 2 losses to give. We might just go 0-2, and I would be perfectly fine with this draft. So, not a lot of frustration available on this one. That doesn't mean I won't say I'm gonna get frustrated. Nothing on the board until turn 3. That is unfortunately not gonna work. This one will though. So we'll say keep 6, and we'll get rid of the Blazing Crescendo. We just like these cards too much, right, to pass them up. Very good. We'll go here. Both of these cards are castable on the next turn. Clocked up his Crawling Chorus. Here comes a removal spell for an Icrasynth. Totally fine with that. Use it on there. Big strong boy. We got our first green card, which is good. Ooh. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we've got our mana pretty much good to go. I wouldn't mind one more source. Probably take the Engraver, yeah. And catch the Crawling Chorus. Hazardous Blast, as sexy as it sounds, doesn't really do us any good. Take away their best blocker. Click next. We'll do no attacks. See what happens, but we'll put a stop here and we'll use our Glisten Seer to see what comes up next. Opponent seems pretty good, although a little bit disjointed, right? Like you've got an equipment piece mixed in with some of this toxic stuff. It starts to look like they got married to white, splashing a little bit of black, and they're not sure where to go from here. I think we're going to clean that blue card out. And rightfully so. All right. I am fine trading with either one of those pieces, but just to get the helm out of the way. I like Chimney Rabbles, but I'm not in love with them. If I do it this way, I get the 1/1 to show back up. If I do it this way, I take out a threat that causes him to spend some mana on the flip side of it. So, we'll knock it out. Get her done. The other piece was it was just a lot easier to like know that we had the other threat covered. We're going to take another Scry. We're not ready to use a Hazard Blast. We need more threats lined up wide along the way. But this deck is just not, like his side is just not moving very quickly here. That's fine. It's a lot less scary than a 2/3, right? A 1/2 that resolve. A Rustvine Cultivator. Just not really enough. Not really enough for what we're trying to do. I mean, if we were trying to get to that throne real quick and easy, for sure. But otherwise, I don't know. What would be the benefit for using the Free from Flesh right now? We'll be able to put some more counters on the Axiom Engraver. Adding 2 to that would give him 5. It would be undefeatable. So yeah, I think we'll just do this. Do we do this one too? No, I don't want 2 oil counters on my whatever. We're good with that. Mostly because it just causes him to have to sit on the sidelines for 1 extra turn. He doesn't have the capability, like, he can chump out his guy. That's totally fine by me. All we're losing is that itty bitty little guy. And he's down to 1 card. Now, I know we're not doing anything to him, but we'll just do that. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, we could really use a threat at this point. Yes. Now I really wish I didn't get rid of that green. Or that other one. So, what I'm looking at here is that we're going to need to sustain 1 more attack while we're looking. The other option would be just to minimize. It's an instant spell. Or no, it's a sorcery speed spell. So if I don't cast it here, I'm not going to get it. I think we're going to have to sustain another attack while we're trying to get the mana thing figured out. So we're going to say no attacks, and we're going to say end turn. I kind of want to hold the Hazardous Blast to do a bit more of like a board clear. That's not going to work as much now, unfortunately. So we might clean the blast out in hopes to get the mana started on there. Yeah, that's fine. Past the blockers. We'll go here. We'll go here. And we'll go there. My turn. Just need the threat more than anything. Ah, man, what I wouldn't give to be able to throw that blast out right now. Yeah. That's good, but that's not enough. Okay. Alright, so you can block you, and you can block you. That should at least take out the injector. What's coming next? A Chimney Rabble is probably a better answer, unfortunately. We were going to end up taking the Toxic from that guy as is. We still can catch the 4/4 and the 1/2. So defense-wise, we're fine. Cinder/Ravager still gets a chance to attack because of the vigilance. That's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this offensive force around. Get next, go here, get 2 attacks. Suddenly, both your attacks are covered. Let's go ahead and remove 1 piece of the puzzle here. Right? Remove this. Click submit. It's fine. Resolve. Next. Attack, attack, attack. We'll keep the poison thing down just a little bit longer here. Click next. He can do the proliferate action if you'd like. He chooses not to, which is my favorite piece of this puzzle. It's okay. We've got two more toxic here. Interesting. Puts us at 7. He has 2 blockers. The problem he's got here is I'll take 1 extra damage, and then that 2 with the proliferate makes my life hard. But can I squeeze the damage in? So let's take a moment here to sneak a peek. We lose on crack block. We've got to find a way to do better than this. I think I have to use the Blazing Crescendo in hopes of finding a removal spell. Right? If I don't use the Blazing Crescendo and grab the extra card, what ends up happening in this trade-off is I go to 8 and then he beats me on the crackback. So let's put the Blazing Crescendo on the Chimney Rabble. That means that he'll end up losing that card. Oh, and we've got the capability of chump blocking. That's enough. So that's going to do it, I believe. He can't let the Chimney Rabble by. Flensing Raptor has to die. And if Flensing Raptor dies, he doesn't have a good way of getting back. That's fine. Because of the chump block. Right? He's a Vraska's Fall, but he doesn't have a way through at this point. Has to be a removal spell on the Raptor, and it's game over if it is. Or it could be 2 tricks, like 2 cards, because there's plenty of mana out there. But I don't know 2 white cards. Like, I don't know the white card that guarantees a piece of toxic. There you go. There you go. GG. 4 wins. Did get mana locked on that, partly because I didn't take the opportunity to dream of that, and I was racing to try to stop the poison from coming. You could say it could have gone either way, but overall, we were able to outlast. There's a defense built into this deck that I just really like. Like, I like the capability of being able to slow things down, clean through some cards. These cards right here are instrumental in making this thing work. Without them, you're not seeing this. But we had this in our hand, we put this on the deck, and this thing ended up becoming the hammer that brought it home. So, Blazing Crescendo was a hero, helping us draw an extra card at the end when we had enough mana to make something happen with it, creating that block at the top. Before we did the attack, allowed us to get through. I just wanted to make sure I could cast it. Shouldn't have honestly cast it before we did the attack, but yeah. Take it. 4 wins, 1 loss. Moving on up. Johnny, the opponent. Hey, Johnny. Totally fine with this. Glisten Seer slows things down. Rustvine Cultivator helps ramp out. Having all 3 different kinds of mana on the board is great. We should just need to draw 1 more piece of mana to get a Chimney Rabble on the board to sort of recapture the fact that we'll be behind. Sometimes decks are built to curve out a little too good. There's that piece of mana that we were looking for. I'm totally fine with this. And since we don't have anything here, we might as well scry it out just to see. Another red Manta is going to flood us just a touch. We'd much rather have another character on the screen, especially with 2 mana sitting here on the backside. If it was blue, I might have changed my mind on there. We could attack, but we're not going to. We're going to put an oil counter on there. Click next. We're going to say no attacks, and since no one's coming, we're going to screw them again. Against what's going on now? Sure. Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason for it. All right, we're pretty much Thrun ready at this point. We got the mana. We've got the offense. We go wide, quick offense. We click next. We attack. We attack with those two. I think that's happy-go-lucky for me. Yeah, that's fine. Blocking my 3/3. We get on the board early. Yeah. Good use of our mana. We still have blockers for these 1/1s all over the place. I'm certainly covering 3 of them right now. What they don't know is that a 1 Cinder/Ravager just wipes all that stuff out of the way, and without them getting a chance to get to the corrupted areas, the Bonepicker Scourge, the Skrelv's Hive don't really have nearly the amount of power that they would later on. So I definitely think that overall we should be fine. We just really want to avoid as much of that as possible. He boosts up, you know, a single Might who's on whatever, on slowdown. So good for you. I'm fine with the Chimney Rabble Porcelain Zealot trade, by the way, too. That extra 2/2 is a bit annoying. So we'll just take the 2 damage. See what we're dealing with here. Yeah. Click next. As far as attacks are concerned, we want to be able to block the 2 Mights, so we leave 2 guys behind, and we'll probably leave the 2 guys behind that. Make the least amount of sense. This will squeeze in some extra damage, but I kind of like having the 1/1 back. Yeah, we'll send it. Let's see what happens. I'd rather put the Free From Flesh on the Axiom Engraver, but he probably knows that too, so he probably does that, right? In order to force it to go over there. And again, I'm totally good with trading him out for that card. That card. Let's see, what did we need? Something that affects the board. Right. Oh, we needed the blue. Shoot. It's okay. Let's go. Opponents at 10 life is threatening 2 toxic. We've got one of them dead, one of them covered, and we've got an Axiom Bearer, which is again like another one of these. Good cards, but a trick. That is all it takes. Shouldn't have done what I did. Blazing Crescendo is an instant spell that goes 3/1. It's sort of, it doesn't save the life of anything that we attack with. So if we're attacking, we're losing something. But I think that I'm okay with that. I think that if we leave this guy behind, when he tries to attack with his 3 toxic creatures, life will be better. So we'll do that. Blazing Crescendo would get traded out for, or a Testament Bearer would get traded out for the Axiom Engraver. So that'd be nice. Get that done. And we'll pop this on you. And we'll just kind of clean that board up a little bit. Where's your life going, buddy? Are you really going to use a removal spell on a Might? That might not be the right answer. Alright, pass. Cackler would be great. We got 4 cards here. We could definitely cast our Cinder/Ravager and just clean the board out, and that would be pretty much game. We can keep playing small ball too. There's nothing negative about that. We can start to attack with 2 of these now. just to kind of whittle it down, watching his life total disappear. My man can go all-out attack, lose 2 of his mites, and get 1 across the finish line. He ain't feeling that. He's waiting for that Cinder Slash Ravager, so he's got that story, right? A-okay with this. We can hurt for 3 more damage. Ooh. Not gonna lie, I didn't expect a White Sun's Twilight. I think we're gonna need something back on the board. Dang. That's probably game. Nice. Cinder Slash Ravager. That's what I'm hoping for. If I don't get it, it's over. Didn't get it. Darn. Darn. You know, the bombs are a little too strong, it seems like. But it's okay. He played his game. I didn't see that coming. We'll click claim, and we're going down. We need 1 more win. 1 more win to get that extra pack. 1 more win. 1 win more. 1 more win till we win this. We will win this in the butt. Let's hope for a blue mana. We have a Glistener Seer. We got 2. We are leaning on the blue. Right. That's good. I think we'd like to draw. Fine. That. Okay. So if I use the augury right now. So sad. We're not attacking. Alright, so after he doesn't attack with his Sinew Dancer, we will sneak a peek at what comes next. More mana. I'm gonna make a break here. My turn. Sawblade Scamp or Blazing Crescendo. I think the card draw is more important here. That's fine. Oh, well, that works. Sure. I'd love to trade my Scamp for the dance here. Since both are getting through, it's not like I was planning on getting 2 anyway. So we've got some interesting cards sitting in the wings here. We've got a Cinder Slash Ravager, which takes out the Sinew Dancer. So we're looking for other, creature cards that I think would benefit from it. We don't have a Toxic at this point right now. I feel like we've got 3 of the same card. So what I'd like to do is attack again and see if our Blight-Bellied Rat takes the block on here. Okay. Fine with that. Again. We have a whole do-nothing turn. Maybe we'll annihilate. Okay. Yeah. Pass. Yeah, we can get rid of that before that happens. Proliferate up. Good job. Oh, I did have one. I don't remember taking it. Okay, Cackler. Fine. Cackler will be a 3/3 when he attacks. This isn't the biggest board state effect, but the fact that this guy's got Toxic all over it in black and white makes me really want to hold on to the Ravager, except let's just get it on the deck, right? Because what it'll do for us is it'll make it impossible for him to block without trading against a Cackler. I love it. Dude, you're staring down a lot. I'm not sure what the thought process is on that. Down to 7, I'll be threatening 3, 4, 5. I'll be threatening 4, I should say. I'm going to hold on to the Raptor. Right? I mean, the Cackler is cool, but it's a 3/3 versus a flying, whatever I need it to be situation. Unfortunately, we're not threatening lethal just yet, so we are just going to all attack, see if we can't bother a trade. Now, what he doesn't know is that we have a hazardous blast, so whatever he threatens us with at this point can't block, which means it's already game over. That's how he got the thing on there. That makes more sense. He's trying to do the passive thing. Yeah, we have the blast. So we did get the 5th win. That's very good. Yeah. As Caitlin, my daughter, would say. Just handled, right? Like, none of this stuff was big enough to get across the finish line for an 0-3 blocker. And if that happens, what do? You just wait for the 5/5s to show up, right? Knockout Blow is a fun little card. We got experience, and we are rolling. One more. We'll turn it positive. Keep rolling, 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 keep rolling. I should stop singing. I mean, I'm so good. Copyright laws and all. Like, I'm gonna get sued. Said my 0 viewers. Alright. I'm using YouTube more as like a way to capture video than I am anything else. Alright. We have a Dune Mover. We have a blue mana, so if we end up needing that extra 2-drop, we're in good shape. I love this. I love, 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 love this. Let's start with our blue card because it makes them start to think that we might do counter magic. Super. Well. While we're thinking about it, take the action, get the green. The Thrun is already in hand, so that's the name of the game. We're going to take a little bit of damage here. We're going to be reversing back that damage, though, with something like this, which we'll do next. He could trade. But see, we didn't give him a reason to trade, and then now we've got him covered. So he's really wishing he traded at this point. Click enter. That's why you don't cast this out early, because then he's like, oh shoot, I could get something out of this, versus it just sitting there doing nothing. I'll take the trade. Now, he'll have to take the trade a whole turn later, if he wants to. But like an attack in is going to prove very unfruitful for him. So he'll stop him from attacking. If we were on the toxic plan, it would be something interesting, to say the least. Well, let him scry, see what he does. Don't leave it on top, don't leave it on top, don't leave it on top. Go bottom, 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 bottom. Always bottom, never top. Always bottom, never top. Oh man, he's thinking about it. Cards that we'd like to see. An extra green mana would be phenomenal. That would allow us to cast our Chimney Rabble, and it would give us 1 mana away from a Thrun, which is just whoa, powerful. So ideally, that's what we're looking for. If he chooses not to attack here on the lookout, we're going to attack with our 2 top. Ouch. Come at me, bro. That's fine. Okay. A mana is better than no mana. Here we go. I love the idea of putting pressure on our boy here. So all attack. Nope. So we've got blue and we've got an equipment carrier. I'm expecting a piece of equipment like a Batterfist to hit the deck over here. Him to be leaving a 2/2 behind and throwing something up onto it. Hexgold Wings would be the 4 mana. He could do the double strike one that's on there, but I think what's missing in his equation is how much damage he's taking while he's getting his little ideal attack set up. I'll chump the Eye of Malcator. Like, I'm not that worried about when he casts the artifact right now. And it was a helm. I mean, yuck, right? What's he gonna do? Like I said, I have no problem with chumping the Eye of Malcator, putting it off to the side. What do you say we... Everyone always waits for lethal with the blast, but we would be taking him down to 6 if we did the blast. I feel like if I just dose the helm, the lookout gets the helm and the Chimney Rabble gets in, and I kind of like that better. Yeah. Submit to, it's fine. Click next, go all attack, and let's see what we do now. You're either choosing damage. What opponent doesn't know is the blast, right? We're threatening 6 damage. Opponent's down to 6 damage. Blast. Blast is just too good at this point. Come at me with 5. I don't think he wants to, but I think he feels like he's got to, right? Otherwise he's just too far gone. And ooh, I'm still going to use that's good though. I'm still going to use the Hazardous Blast here. Yeah. If I do, I get rid of the Mandibular Justice. I put a lot of pressure on him. He'll be down to 1. It'll really make him make a bad choice on the next one path. And we'll click enter. So, being down to 1 sucks. Getting 1 more mana would be huge, especially if it was a green mana, because then Thrun could just come out. But if he doesn't, I just double cast these 2, and I'm just probably going to get wider than he can get before he can get 14 damage off me. So that's the name of the game. He may not have anything that affects the board right now, and that could be why we're seeing a hesitation here. He might just be considering conceding. I don't think he's conceding. I think he's probably got any artifact, because that's what this deck is designed to do, right? Is bring those Eye of Malkators out as much as possible. So there you go. Unfortunately, not a blocker. He could turn it into a blocker. Yeah, that's fine. So he can use the Strider to make it into a blocker. I'm trying to think what would kill me right here, right? If I throw the Engraver and then do the Experimental Augury, just as an example, right? I'll have the blocker for what, like the Eye of Malkator coming back out on the backside, and I can still attack. And I think that if I do that, I'm fine. I'm not sure what's next that would kill me here. So I'm confused. We'll see if a blocker comes up. Yes, it does. Click resolve. That's okay. We're going to do this just to see if we find a trick that might make a difference in the outcome of these fights, right? Okay. Meldweb Strider would go away. But more importantly, Swooping Lookout would go away. I would lose both my threats either way. Which one would I feel most comfortable with him losing? Probably the Strider, right? Not sure how he crews it otherwise. Yeah. This is a better trade. Oh, yes. Yeah. We'll get you out there too. I think we're good. The hidden top deck card draw. Super. So typically the Cultivator would be what we would be trying to put power to him. Eye of Malkor sets off Eye of Malkator. He needs a blocker. Otherwise the Cultivator wins. I've played against this guy, 00M Killer. I think we might just get a concede. Because he recognizes that an attack here does nothing, and letting it fall back does nothing. Oh no, maybe he just had to relog in. We're getting close to trophy chance. It'll be all for nothing if we get through this. Oil's just good. Oil creates defense, defense creates length, and length creates opportunity. As long as you put some cards that are worth getting to in your deck, like you know who, you're in a better spot. He's just gonna let it time out. Rig up. Yeah, that was a good one. These are really fun. But I'm winning. Like if I was losing, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we've got 6 wins down. We went positive on this one. We've got a 40% chance of getting a bonus pack, which is great. Just to point out what we walked out of with this, because we are still value drafting. We got a Jin Gitaxias, which we ended up not using in our blue-red spells deck. Shows you where the format's at. It needs to be faster than a 7-mana card. We picked up a Blade of Shared Souls. We only had 2 copies of that. We needed a third. We picked up a Thrun. We only had 2 copies of that. We got a third that's on there. So we did all right with the rares. We've got copies of all the rest of these cards for the most part, but getting them all for free, man, nothing sweeter. We are canceling any changes. We are looking at our situation and saying, let's do it for the marbles. Game 7. Yeah. We're 2-1 today, so odds favor us. We were 3-1 yesterday with the deck. Really, really, really good hand here. Oh my god. I'm very, very happy with this. Let's go with you. Could be either one of those two at that turn. Alrighty then. I'm not worried about the attack. We'll put the oil counter on. It's good. Got him. Okay, so the Furnace Punisher scares me. Like, it's just a 3/3 Menacer. There's just too many negative things that can come from having that card out on the deck. We can focus on defense a little bit more as time goes on here. But, we put a counter on our Ichor Synthesizer. There's no reason for us to... Well, yeah, there's no reason for us to do this, right? Just in case he's got some Chimney Rabble, since he is in the red oil deck. Chimney Rabbles a lot of times become sort of the thing. There you go. Whoosh. So the War Whip is really, really good. It's very difficult. I would trade my Chimney Rabble 3/3 for it. But I can't attack into it, right? So we're just putting an oil counter on it, and we're popping a Glisten Seer, and this is the question mark now, right? I think we just go Thrun, correct? Yeah, Thrun seems like the right answer. So, here we go. Yeah. Nothing wrong with a turn 4 Thrun. In your red-blue... your red-blue spells deck. Yeah, that's a little different than a War Whip, isn't it? We're going to say no attacks on this. And let you go. He could easily remove the Thrun. I don't have any protection spells for the Thrun, unfortunately. But in an ideal world, we're popping our Chimney Rabble on the next turn in order to create some, pressure, blocking pressure, because we're going to start throwing some damage down. His War Whip, unfortunately, is just something that's going to be a problem. If we can remove the 2/2 off of it, it's much less of a problem. So, we'll see. If I don't... I'm not sure what would change my plan to play the Rabble and attack in with, 8. Roughly, I'm kind of keeping the Ichor Synthesizer as a nice blocker on the backside that can grow if we do get a chance. Oh. I'm assuming there was a trick. Game on. I love it. Alright, we'll do this too. Just kind of keep it going wide here, right? Go next. All attack. Just kidding. We'll just do 2 attacks, and we'll lose our chimney rabble, and our Thrun will get in there and do some damage. Why would you use that on the chimney rabble? I already have what I need out of the Rustvine Cultivator. I can chump block my way through a little bit. I wouldn't mind a removal spell right now, though, because that Skitterfang is going to make life pretty tough. And what do you think? Glisten's here? It's okay. Tis okay. We need another threat, like now. Preferably a removal spell. I think we lost. He drew really, really well. I mean, I even had a good start, too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I prevent him from healing his way through all of this. Yeah. We're going to have to let 4 damage through. We're going to have to chump block out. Unfortunately, I don't see how I outstrip this guy. A proliferating spell. Good game, man. Nothing I can do. Yep. Nothing I can do. And lethal's out of range now. That's pretty good. Good game. I could chump it, theoretically. I think that's it, because lethal, I mean, we'll make him make the mistake, but he won't make it. He's fine. Yeah. Good game. Concede. I mean, if I sit there, he's at 17, and I'm still going to die 1 turn later. There's just nothing I can draw that's going to finish it. So we went 6 and 3. 6 and 3. And what 6 and 3 gets you is 100 gems more than what you spent to get in, which is really good. So everything we got was for free. We're going to claim that prize. We got the bonus pack out of it. So we end up with a total of 5 rares because we drafted a mythic rare Praetor, the Jin-Gitaxias, which I didn't have. Like I had 1 copy, I think. And the other 2 rare cards, which we wanted, and then we'll get 2 rare cards out of these packs. And of course, we went up in gems. I have no problems with that. You want to just see what we get in our packs? We'll do our pack opening electronically here. And we're running out of things to buy. Sure. We'll do a Techathal. Do I have another one? I do. So we'll start down the black path. Getting down to the end here. Claiming it. And under packs, there are a total of 3 Phyrexia All-Be-One packs. That is because Mastery Pass, the reset that happens from Saturday night into Sunday, Sunday morning, I should say, allows you to start accelerating. Your wins on this dial are worth 250 XP each. So every 4 wins, and we've already picked up 8 today, just between a little bit of practice in the morning and what we just did there. So that gave us 2 full wheels, and that gave us 2 full levels on the Mastery Pass. So let's take a look. We are getting closer. Don't really care about all these because we pretty much have a complete set, and yay. Actually, you know what's funny? This is actually really important, especially in the green-white Simic deck. Of all of the 2-colored lands, that's a good one. So I'll take it. All right. Again, this is always good. We have been using some of those to kind of just flesh out some other decks because we didn't see anything. And an encroaching microsynth. Non-land permanents you control are artifacts in addition to their other types. And the same is true for permanent spells you control and non-land permanents you own that aren't on the battlefield. I guess the theory would be you stick this in the blue-white artifact deck and just get a trigger for everything that you do. I've not tried it, so maybe I shouldn't throw up all over it just yet. Always good. Always good. And my 3rd unstoppable juggernaut. This is a fun card to play. You really need to ramp into it, though. There doesn't seem to be many ways to cheat out the 8 mana cost. That's bigger than an Atraxa. It does a lot of fun things, but I've lost after casting this before. It's not always a game winner. In a highly defensive deck, it can be really good, but it's not the end all. Okay, so a bit of a question mark here. Part of me was looking at what's coming up in Magic and the best usage for gems. I mean, obviously, being able to go positive in quick draft is a pretty good use for gems, right? We're doing better than jump-ins. We're doing better than anything else when we are able to pull out 6 wins in a quick draft. Not every quick draft is going to pull out 6 wins, but it seems very difficult for us not to get a good return on investment by going into quick draft. Except there is a new series coming out, a new draft that we'll have an opportunity to do. And the quick draft for that will not be available for quite some time. The new draft set is, we'll take a look at it in the store here. Right here. The new draft set is the Shadows over Innistrad Remastered. And seeing as how I'm getting very close to completing what's going on inside Phyrexia All-Be-One, I do have more opportunity to draft new cards out of here. And one of the things I've always noticed is that I do a little bit better in these drafts than I expect, especially when they're brand new. I seem to be able to kind of identify where some of the lines are that you should be in, where the lanes are as far as it is concerned. That comes from watching, Court of Calls on YouTube. Comes from watching some the Nummy make some good drafts and some bad drafts, and kind of following what he seems to be isolating towards. So on the flip side of this, if I plan on drafting these anyway, right? I've got 4,500 gems. I've got 3 complete tank drafts available. It's very likely that I should be able to average getting 1,000 gems back each one, in which case I would still have 3,000 gems and it would cost me 1,400 gems to pull off 3 drafts, right? And that's kind of the, if I, worst case scenario is I've got 3 full drafts out of it. Best case scenario is I've got 3+ drafts out of it, all the cards, and I still have most of my gems. Um, this would be the hedge against that bet. And the reason why I kind of like this is because let's say we wanted to still do those same 3 drafts. If we paid the $30, we would get some of the cards, a pretty decent amount of the cards, if you ask me. 10 packs, a golden pack. I think those are just gravy. But what we're really buying it for is the 3 draft tokens, because the 3 draft tokens will put us in our 3 drafts, and we can kind of see how we do. There's no reason for us to hesitate. If we do well during those 3 drafts and we enjoy the format, we can continue to draft in there, and the amount of gems that we should have, which should be close to 7,000 gems, right? Because we're averaging 3 wins, we're getting 1,000 gems a draft back in return. We're at 4,500 gems, so the fast math adds up. I kind of like that. It is $30, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. How do you, how do you, how do you not get the $30 done? So let's do it. This is probably where I pause the stream here real quick. Be back soon. And we'll go here. And that's fine. I told you we'd be back soon. We are. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. In this Shadows over Innistrad, we will be picking up 3 draft tokens. We will get a copy of both of these as well as the skins that go along with it. And we will be able to open up our 10 packs as well as our golden pack that's on there with a few extra rares. So it's going to be a nice kickstart into the new set. It's definitely going to give us an opportunity to get a lot of cards via draft, which is my favorite way to do it. Forces you to play them, allows you to see where their strengths are, kind of gets the brain moving in the right direction on how to utilize them. There was another thing I think that we can pick up in there, and it was pretty ugly looking, but I liked it. We'll go to edit, and we'll check out this card sleeve. I'm not sure. I guess we did need a Resistance Sky Warden in those packs. That was brand new. Go to card sleeves. Could have sworn I saw a super ugly one. Confirm. Just creepy beyond belief. Taking it. Okay. Fun, fun, fun. Really wish I had more of these guys. It's kind of strange. Like when I look at, Phyrexia all will be one, rare and mythic, and I look at what is in the don't have full selection, right? These are the ones I'm looking for when I jump into draft decks, and under quick draft, that's a lot. If we also add in the not collected versions of things, there really isn't much, but 2, 7. I mean, just it adds up. There's quite a few. Now, are these the best cards? I definitely, yes, would say this is great. I've got four of these on a brand new account that I started. I don't know how I got lucky enough to get that. I do think this card could be useful. I definitely think these Planeswalkers are a lot of fun, and I'm, regretting not having more Tyvars, or especially early on. It seemed like people really figured out what to do with the Tyvars pretty quick and easy. As far as lands are concerned, I've got most of our two. I've got most of our two or fewer lands maximized at this point, and that's awesome. Very awesome. I could use these. I think that there's actually a really good case for this, especially with the graveyard hate that happens. And Tablet of Completion, I've tried it. I, 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 I can't. I can't. I just can't. The Zenith Chronicler is pretty good, and somebody said the Staff of Completion is excellent. I guess in a blue-white control deck, or a blue control deck that somehow finds a way to activate some life gain, you could do some really fun stuff with it, but not me. Um, yeah, so an exorbitantly high amount of black that we didn't, we're clearly not drafting the black cards enough for us to have acquired these, although I can't remember ever passing an Archfiend to the Dross. Um, I do know that I was leaning into red pretty early because I identified it as a color that I liked, and it wasn't until it's these black cards that, for the most part, I felt like I couldn't draft Phyrexian Arena or Geth, and I don't regret those choices. These I don't care too much about, but Vran is fun. Obliterator, Archfiend, really good. Black Sun's Twilight, really good. So nothing negative about this. The other piece of this puzzle. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we need a lot more cards than I thought. That's why I was like, what? I don't remember having all of these. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. Now this makes a lot more sense. I was like, where's the... Oh. We also aren't seeing our not collecteds because of the 1, 2, 3. So like Vraska over here. Goliath Hatchery comes from the Mastery Pass. I'm not worried about that. Vraska is literally the last one I don't have. Ouch. Just save it this way. So we're gonna call that a stream. We'll goof around with a new account. So I'm gonna just be right back, but I'm gonna give it a different label, and then I'll consolidate those two videos and turn them into one, so that it's just more of a bite-sized experience, and you can kind of see how that draft works out and what the practice looks like. Okay, I will catch you.